Welcome back, everyone. We just finished reading a beautiful book called Home for a Bunny. And it was springtime and the bunny was looking for a new home. And so as he was hopping through, we were seeing signs of spring. And so I brought some signs of spring in from my yard for you to see. I have some daffodils and jonquils. And then I wanted to show you the beginning of the trees and bushes that are growing. I do not have any fruit trees, like I don't have apple trees or cherry trees or plum or pear. Those are the ones that put out the very pretty blossoms like what we saw in Fletcher in the springtime blossoms. But I do have forsythia, which is this beautiful yellow flower, which is one of the first ones that blooms in the spring. And so I pruned these from my bush and I'm going to stick them into water, and in a few weeks they'll have roots and I can start new bushes. I also I pruned this off of a tree called a pussy willow. And you go, what, a pussy willow? And I'll show you why it's called a pussy willow. The flower on this tree is this beautiful, soft gray thing. And if you feel it, it's so soft. It's as soft as a baby kitten, a little pussy. So this is a pussy willow. Soon, they'll fall off the tree and leaves will start growing instead. But this is also, I'm going to put them in water and they will root and I'll be able to grow new pussy willow trees. So those are two of the ones I have in my yard, and those are different kinds of flowers. And then the ones that have the blossoms, your fruit trees, cherry, apple, pear, plum, they all have those beautiful blossoms like in the one book we read. But your other trees, this is a maple that was in and this is the maple's flower. And as you can see, it's not nearly as pretty as the other flowers. But this is what the maple tree grows. And then from here, the seeds will grow. And then right here, I don't think you can see it, but the leaves are just starting to come out on that, to bud. And so there's all kinds of different kinds of signs of spring happening outside right now. So take a nature walk and see what's in your neighborhood. Today, we're going to make our own little bunny, a little finger puppet. And so in our bag, in our kit, you will look for the little baggie, and you're going to be taking out, last week we talked about triangles. Today we're going to have circles. A big white circle with two little circles cut out of it. A smaller white circle. And then the two ears. What you need to find at home, save this for later. What you need at home is whatever color crayon or marker you want to use for the inside of the ears and for the face. Oops, I forgot the one that I need here. One more crayon. So I have a pink crayon, I have a red crayon, and I have a brown marker. And then the other thing to put my rabbit together is a glue stick. If you don't have a glue stick, you can use the white glue. You just have to remember to let it dry before you start playing with your rabbit. So, what do we have to do to this? Well, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to make the face. So, you take your circle and You make eyes. You make a nose, which is kind of like an upside down triangle. You give him some whiskers, which are little lines that come out from his nose. See how I'm doing that? And then you give him a little, hopefully a little smile. Make him a happy bunny. And if you're practicing writing your letters, it's like the face I made on this one is like J's. I made a J and then a backwards one. And I'll just put the little curves at the top. And so see, my rabbits will have slightly different faces because everyone's face is a little different. So now the face is ready. I'm going to go ahead and color the inside of the ears, the fur on the inside of the ears. And I'm going to go ahead and use pink, but you could use brown or black or gray, or if you wanted to be real fancy, some other color. And so what you're doing is you're just coloring like the shape of your ear just on the inside part of it and leaving a white rim around the outside of it. Just like this. So now I have 4 little pieces that I want to attach to make the one little rabbit. So I'm going to get my glue stick and I'm going to glue his ears first. So remember, you glue along the bottom and you put it on the back side of his head. So over here, behind the one eye. You can't really see it very well how I glued it, but it's right there. So then I'm going to glue the other side, the other ear. And he goes on the other side of the head, kind of behind the eye. So here I have my rabbit and his ears. So now I'm going to turn him over and I'm going to glue on the back, right at the very bottom. So you can still see the little purple where I've just glued on the bottom, and I'm going to take it, my 2 cutout circles are at the bottom, and I'm going to glue this at the top of the circle, right over where your fingers, his feet, are going to be. And now I have my home for the bunny, and he's found another bunny to have home with. Have fun with your little bunnies.